Why, hello there, sports fan. I'm Imogen.
And I'm Emil, and together we host Stuff's daily news podcast, Newsable.
Each day, we take a look at what's happening in the world.
And we bring you what's worth talking about.
If you haven't followed us yet, search for Newsable in your favourite podcast player.
In the meantime, our wee gift to you, because we know you love sport. The All Blacks Rugby World Cup squad has been announced. We've got reaction from All Black legend Jeff Wilson.
If you like what you're hearing, and I'm so sure you do, make sure you find and follow Newsable. This is Newsable, brought to you by BNZ. Let's find a way.
I know we're in the midst of FIFA fever, but we are also now just 33 days out from the Rugby World Cup 2023, and Ian Foster has named his final All Blacks squad.
Joining us now to unpack everything is All Black royalty, Jeff Wilson. Kia ora, Jeff. Welcome to Newsable.
Kia ora, I'm not sure about royalty. Just hanging in there as best I can, doing the job we can. But I tell you what, it's been a long wait. I don't know how many sides I've picked in 2023. From the moment Super Rugby started, every week you sort of throw up another number, and we're finally there. We've arrived. And look, ultimately, it's ended up being reasonably predictable, right? A lot of the familiar faces, we tried to find room for a couple of extras, a couple of different names. But look, I think everyone that's made the squad thoroughly deserves the opportunity to get on the plane.
Is this a World Cup winning squad, though?
Well, I'm not going to tell you it's going to win the World Cup, but it's certainly good enough. And that's the most important thing, is we know we're going with a side that could not just compete, but is going to go over there and is good enough on its day to beat anyone. And what we've started to see in 2023 is a side that can do it on back-to-back weeks in multiple games.
Jeff, if you take off your patriotism hat and put on your rugby analyst hat, brutal and cool and surgical, what do you consider to be our strengths and our weaknesses heading into this tournament?
I think that the most important thing that's happened is what we've seen up front, and our ability in our tight five at scrum time and in the darker arts of the game, the maul. What we've seen is some youth, almost a changing of the guard in Ethan de Groot and Tyrell Lomax. They've brought a whole different intensity to what we do up front. Look, their challenges, there's no doubt. You need to stay healthy. You need an element of good luck. You want, I suppose, some good fortune in regards to some refereeing and TMOs and decisions that happens throughout the course of the competition and the tournament. But I think you can say when we look at this group with his experience, it'll be in their own hands because they'll have the ability to adapt, and it's just a matter of whether or not they can do it consistently in the big games.
Jeff, I want to take you back to a certain period of time. It's 1993. Meatloaf was top of the charts. I was about 3 weeks old. Emil had just turned 2. And a fresh-faced, golden-haired 19-year-old Jeff Wilson was waiting to hear if he'd made the All Black squad to tour Britain. What was it like hearing your name called?
In those days, there was no internet. There was no... It was a case where they wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up. So they sort of told your team, and yes, Meatloaf was number one, and rightfully so as well. I found out the night before. I had to do the whole collect call home, the old 010.
Oh, please.
Will you take the charges?
Did they? Did they?
Yeah, and they did, funnily enough.
Good.
It was almost like 10, 11 o'clock at night that I found out that I was in the side. No one's open. There's no media open at that time. There's no posting on social media. It was a matter of they would name the squad. And I was so naive. Here's how naive I was to who was in the team. I didn't realise that, and I work with him a lot now, I didn't even realise that it was Sir John Kirwan's jersey that I'd taken. Yeah. I showed up to the first training and I asked, "Where's JK?" And no, he's not in the team. Oh dear. Not a great start, to be fair. But look, it's remarkable. I think ultimately when you know you're in a squad that's going, and it's a whole different mindset. For half of this team, I think Ian Foster said, half of this team haven't been to a Rugby World Cup. The good thing for us is the other half have.
Thank you so much for your time, Jeff Wilson, Sky Rugby commentator and presenter of The Breakdown. If you are enjoying what you're hearing, chuck us a like and a follow on your favourite podcast platform. It'll help other people find us, and it'll mean you get fresh episodes delivered right to your phone. No issues. No hassle.
Investing, KiwiSaver, retirement, compound interest, budgeting, financial planning. Are you still awake? Ever think it was time women got a seat at the table when it comes to talking and understanding finance? Yeah, us too. This is Power, Money, Security, a podcast redefining PMS for financially empowered females. And yes, I'm talking to you, you incredible wahine. You'll hear from amazing women who are passionate about making the financial world more accessible. You'll hear inspiring stories from women leading the charge in making money and in creating pathways for other women to come along. And you'll get real-world advice on how to get our finances in order and plan a strong financial future. Listen and subscribe to Power, Money, Security, brought to you by The Table, where Kiwi women talk money. Sponsored by Mercer.
6 months. That's how long a New Zealand pilot has been held hostage in the jungles of the Indonesia province of Papua.
It's a really difficult situation because we have kind of a formal arrangement with Indonesia. So the New Zealand government does not want to antagonise Indonesian authorities. Any negotiations we're holding, it is very much going through Indonesian authorities. And that is the sticking point because we know that this particular independence movement, they don't want to talk to the Indonesian government. They want to talk to the world and they want people to know what's been going on in West Papua, and they want New Zealand to act and pull out from having any sort of association with Indonesia militarily.
For everything that's worth talking about, find and follow Newsable wherever you get your podcasts.
Newsable, brought to you by BNZ.